5K, 5K stuff, who had stuff for the 5K? Okay, Alex? You have a shirt sponsor?
Yeah.
All right, great deal. Shirt sponsor, it's 2. Okay. You already turned in your form?
Yes.
Okay, that's for running?
Yes.
Okay, so Asia, you're good? Sam, you're volunteering? Kayla's volunteering? Ms. Connors? You turn yours in?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, all right, I'm going through it here. Ms. Gray, you volunteer. Selena, you're running. You turn in your shirt sponsor.
Yeah, 2.
Parker, you turned in your running form yesterday? Okay. Shirt sponsors? No? Okay. O'Neill just turned his in. Josh turned yours in yesterday. Hal turned in a couple. Reed just turned his in. Alex, that's good. Steven, just volunteer. Sure you don't want to run? Sure you don't want to run?
Positive. 100%.
Ms. Connors is hoping you'd chase her.
No.
All right.
No.
Wade?
Volunteer.
Volunteering.
Wow.
And Nico turned his in.
My mom's bringing my race form about 8 o'clock this morning.
Okay, bring it up here, okay?
Okay.
And set it on my desk if you will, okay? Thanks, guys.
Good morning, Dr. Barrett. My name is Gene Longo, and this is period 1. Please turn around to the camera and say hello to Dr. Barrett.
Hi.
How about hi, Dr. Barrett, so we can understand it?
Hi,
Dr. Barrett. I've not told the students, today I am being recorded because part of a master's class that I am involved with, I'm required to record myself teaching the best students that are in our program, and that would be this period. So, please take attendance. Dr. Barrett, that was Sergeant Tony Chitwood. He's also an instructor for junior ROTC, and as we typically do, and the students will nod their head and confirm, we will tag team or we'll team teach. If he has announcements or I have announcements, depending on what day it happens to be. If I'm teaching, he'll start the class off with his instruction or vice versa. If it's his day and I have news, I'll present that to the class. Today was supposed to be a video, but you all can thank Dr. Barrett. I don't think he'd want to watch me present video to the class, so we're going to have some PowerPoint slides. So again, maybe turn around and say, thank you, Dr. Barrett, for the instruction versus the video.
Thank
you, Dr. Barrett.
What you saw behind me was one of the cadets take the daily attendance. Typically at the start of a class, the cadets will take attendance for each of our classes, and we track those first period so the school knows who's missing. And usually we have some people missing. Welcome back. And then each period we track it because that's part of our awards that we give to the students each semester. It depends on how many times they've been tardy to class or if they've missed altogether. Had some technical difficulties today. I've had some real issues with my computer. I think this class has heard my frustration. We were going to teach with the classroom-based performance or classroom performance system CPS clickers. Unfortunately, my CPS program is not working on the computer, so we will not use those. This class doesn't know it as well as the older cadets, but what's the key to air power? Come on. Yeah. Let Dr. Barrett know that I'm a good teacher. What's the key to air power? What am I doing right now? I can't use the CPS, so problem solving, flexibility. So let's just say that as a class. Flexibility is the key to air power.
Flexibility is the key to air power.
Okay, so versus using the CPS, I'll just go with the old-time PowerPoint slides, but you won't have the clickers to keep yourselves active. So Wade, please keep them awake in the back. Mr. Shepherd, would you turn around and keep Dr. Barrett entertained while I'm setting up, please? Please turn around and talk to him.
Hey man, what's up?
He's a PhD at Fort Hays State University. That's not a proper way to speak to him.
You are smart. Smarter than me.
Mr. Walston, maybe Ms. Lowry will focus on you and you'll act like the adult that you should, Mr. Shepherd. Say something to Dr. Barrett, would you, Mr. Shepherd?
Hi, I'm Cadet Shepherd, Airman. Nice to meet you. This is class, first period.
Tell them how much you love this class.
It's actually a really fun class compared to everything else, like science. Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Shepherd, you're killing my grades, so maybe we'll move on.
Edit that part out.
Batman, what's the name of this lesson?
Air power in World War II.
Okay. Mr. Bicklum, what's that say?
I can.
I can. So at the end of this lesson, if that'll work. Mr. Walston, at the end of this lesson, what should you be able to I can?
The role of air
No,
power.
you're supposed to say, start off with I can.
Oh, I can.
Improvise. I
I
can.
can identify the role air power played in World War II and its significance. I can identify how air power was developed during World War II, and I can identify the significance of the Allied air campaign.
Thank you, Mr. Walston. Well, we ended, World War II has started. We ended on slide 17. How many people died in World War II? Anybody remember the number?
54 million.
That was like 54 million.
No, it's 54.
It was
Very good, Ms. Cotter.
226,000. I got that part.
Talked about the root causes, lots of different things going on in the different countries that were involved. Talked about the different players, Germany, the communists, Russia, Soviet Union at that time. Hitler and Stalin had an agreement not to attack one another. And we ended up stopping at the strategic role of air power. You should have your definitions out. For those of you that were in class, for those of you that missed class, welcome back from spring break to our new student. So, pull out your note taker. As we did on Monday, as we hit a definition, I'll make sure that I go over it. This will help you stay engaged with the lessons so you don't fall asleep or have any sneezes today. As stated up front, a lot of the major battles in World War II were fought in the air. Air power had a significant role. At the end of the war in 1945, they captured German civilians, they captured German officers enlisted. They all agreed that air power is what made the Allies victorious in Europe. Pretty good compliment to the Air Force. No, it's supposed to be 2. I gave you template. Very good observation. You're welcome. Air power played a strategic role in the outcome of World War II. What strategic is one of your definitions? Someone take a guess. What's Mr. Batman? What's strategic mean?
Designed to strike at the sources of an enemy's military, economic, or political power.
That's a good one. That's almost the book definition. So if you haven't recorded that, now would be a good time before I hit the next slide.
It's not on the paper.
It's not?
No.
Not even on the back side?
No.
On the front side? Okay, well, you didn't have to tell me that in front of Dr. Barrett. How about Luftwaffe? Is that in there?
Yes.
Right, so Germany began the war in Europe using their Luftwaffe, which was what?
German Air Force.
German Air Force. Good definition to have up there. And it used the Air Force in combination with their ground forces, the folks on the ground, the people that had the rifles, the pistols, the hand grenades, the tanks. So they used the German Air Force in combination with their ground forces. It helped them to create, anyone recall the term used when they went through Poland very quickly at the start of World War II?
Blitzkrieg.
Blitzkrieg. So they were able to use the German Air Force along with the ground troops to be able to quickly overwhelm the countries in Europe. And you can see down there. So they quickly rolled over Poland. Poland, how large was the army in Poland? I think I covered on Monday. Fifth largest in the world. So it wasn't a pushover. It was a lot of people, a lot of guns, so they did a very good job. So Germany rolled over just about every country in Europe until it came up against Great Britain. And that's where their luck started to change. What's the difference in Europe with Britain versus all the other countries?
Britain is its own island, and Germany was just invading through land, so they would actually have to cross water to get to Britain.
And what's that body of water called?
English Channel? Yeah.
The English Channel. Anyone know how wide the English Channel is? How far from mainland Europe to Europe, or I'm sorry, to Great Britain? Anyone want to venture a guess?
50 miles. Well,
I don't have I think it's 30 miles somewhere. I don't know. One of you that have a nerd phone, pull that out and let us know. But I think it's right around 30 miles. So Germany now has to take on an opponent that's located across a body of water. That's not what they were designed to do. Their airplanes were small range, small distances. They had fighters, they did have bombers, but they were all built to conquer countries that were right next to them, right next to each other. So they tried multiple ways to try to take down Britain. As you can see up there, for a year, go ahead.
21 miles.
21 miles, what did I say? 30. 30 is close to 21, unless you have to run it. So for a year, with all the other countries in Europe being conquered, Britain stands alone against Germany, and they're throwing all that they have, and they don't have the proper tools, against Great Britain. They actually went through 4 different ways of trying to bomb or destroy Great Britain. And the truth is, they had 4 plans. Had they stuck with just one of the plans and continued to do it for a year, we all might be speaking German at this point. But they had no patience. Germany was used to conquering countries quickly. They went through Poland in a month. They went through the rest of Europe very quickly. So they had no patience to spend a year trying to conquer Great Britain. So after one strategy didn't work, they went to another, and another. And the truth is, Great Britain, they were able to hold out, but only because Germany kept switching. Had they stuck with one of their plans, more than likely they would have conquered Great Britain. Great Britain also had 2 advantages. Ms. Gray, what was one of the advantages that Great Britain had?
Its Royal Navy was superior to Germany's Navy.
What's that mean in English?
It was better.
Better. They had more boats, right? More things to float around and more things to shoot. Mr. O'Neill, what's another?
German aircraft weren't equipped to fly the long distances needed across the English Channel.
Okay, that's what I mentioned. And now, thanks to Wade and his nerd phone, we know how wide the English Channel is, which was how far?
21 miles.
21 miles. So they had to travel back and forth. Another thing that's not really in the lesson plan that Britain was able to develop and help them when Germany would come over and bomb their country. Anyone know the technology that was created and used?
Radar.
Radar. Yeah. So prior to radar, they're just out there, you may have seen old-time movies out there with binoculars, looking, listening, 24 hours a day, all along the coast of the English Channel. With radar, they don't need that. Occupation, is that one of your definitions? So Germany's taken control of Europe, and the the countries that they take control of, France, Italy, well, Italy's part, after they conquer them, they become teammates. What's occupation mean? Is that one of your definitions?
Yeah,
We already have it? Okay, we already covered that, okay. Well, what does it mean?
It means the invasion, control, or contact, military or foreign, of a foreign country.
Well, that sounds like mush, okay. So to start World War II, air power is decisive, the German Air Force. Then for the United States, we get involved through air power because, what? Pearl Harbor, Japanese use airplanes. Another three, there's 4 large times where air power is used. The third or second time was used, yeah, be the third, was D-Day. Go ahead.
When they stormed France
Mhm.
to get to Germany.
Exactly. Josh, read that first bullet.
The D-Day invasion on 6th of June 1944 was a third punch delivered to air power.
Who in here thought that D-Day, I mean, what is D-Day? What was D-Day? There's lots of movies about it.
Allied invasion of Normandy.
And movie, you've seen movies, hopefully you read about it, about a month and a half ago in your social studies class. What was D-Day? Invasion, but draw me a verbal picture.
An attempt to try and regain Europe from Germany
And how did they do it?
by trying to storm through the weakest part of their fortress, you could say.
Okay. Anything else to add to that?
There were 5 beaches, each split up among the American and the British forces. There was a fake landing slightly north to fool them, and there were also an attempt to send in